Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today. I'm Enna, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Smith.
Hey there. Great to be here. You know, Enna, I was thinking about you this morning when I was at the train station. I saw a big board showing all the delays, and I thought, oh no, is this going to be one of those days?
Oh, I know that feeling so well. That moment when you look at the board and your heart just drops. And that's actually the perfect introduction to today's episode, because today we have a story, a travel story, a very stressful, very funny, and very real travel story.
That's right. Today on Simple English Talks, we're going to talk about what happens when your flight gets canceled, when you're stuck at the airport overnight.
And by the end of today's episode, you're going to be able to tell a travel story in English. You'll practice the past simple tense for events that happened and the past continuous tense for describing what was happening around you. These two tenses work together, and today you'll see exactly how.
Before we go any further, we want to hear from you. Have you ever had a travel problem? A canceled flight, a missed train, lost luggage? Tell us in the comments right now. We read every single one.
And if this is your first time here, welcome. We're so glad you found us. Please subscribe to Simple English Talks so you don't miss a single episode. We post every week, just for learners like you.
Okay, everyone, get comfortable, because our story begins on a perfectly normal Tuesday evening that became a very abnormal Tuesday night.
So, it was a Tuesday. The whole family was at the airport. Mom, Dad, 2 kids, 8 and 11 years old, and enough suitcases to fill a small car. They were going on holiday, a week in Italy. The kids were so excited, they hadn't slept properly in 2 days.
Ha! I love this already. The classic family holiday energy. Everyone's carrying too much. The kids are running everywhere.
Exactly. So they arrived at the airport at 4 in the afternoon. Their flight was at 7. They had plenty of time. Or so they thought.
Uh-oh, I already feel nervous for them.
They checked in. They went through security. They found their gate, gate 22. They sat down, bought some snacks, and waited. And this is where our first vocabulary comes in. Let's look at some key words from this part of the story.
Great. So we heard check in. To check in at the airport means to show your ticket, show your passport, and give your big suitcase to the airline. You do this before security. They checked in. That's past simple.
Then they went through security. Security is the area where they check your bags and make sure you're not carrying anything dangerous. Everyone goes through security. It's usually fine, but it takes time.
And they found their gate. A gate is a specific door in the airport. It's where you wait before you get on the plane. Each flight has a different gate number. Gate 22 in our story.
Now, at 6:30, something happened. The family was sitting at gate 22. The kids were eating snacks, Dad was reading a book, Mom was checking her phone. And then, the big screen above them changed.
Oh no!
The words on the screen changed from on time to just 2 words. Flight delayed.
Delayed! That word. Every traveler knows that word. Delayed means late. It's not canceled yet, but it's not on time either. The flight is delayed.
The new departure time said 9:30, 2.5 hours later than planned. The kids groaned. Dad put his book down. Mom sighed.
And this is where you can really see the past continuous at work. Notice what Enna said. The kids were eating snacks. Dad was reading a book. Mom was checking her phone. These actions were all in progress. They were happening when the screen changed. That's the past continuous. Was, were, plus verb ing.
Comment prompt. Do you know the word delayed?
Have you ever waited for a delayed flight or train? Share your story.
Perfect. So the family waited and waited. And at 9:15, the screen changed again.
What did it say?
It said, "Flight canceled."
Flight canceled. 2 words that change everything. And now, let's look at exactly how we use the past simple tense to tell this story.
The past simple is the tense we use for completed actions in the past, things that started and finished. For regular verbs, we add ed. For irregular verbs, and there are many, we use a special form.
So in our story, the screen changed. Changed is a regular verb. Change, changed. The family waited. Waited is regular. Wait, waited. But then the family went to the information desk. Went is irregular. Go, went.
Let's look at a few irregular verbs we'll use in this story. Go, went. See, saw. Think, thought. Tell, told. Stand, stood. Sleep, slept. These are all very common. You'll hear them all the time.
Now, back to our family. The flight was canceled at 9:15. Everyone at Gate 22 stood up at the same time. People started talking loudly. Some people looked angry. Some people looked like they wanted to cry. And our family? The kids sat very still and looked at their parents.
Kids always know when something serious is happening.
Dad went straight to the information desk. This is a key sentence. Dad went straight to the information desk. Went, past simple of go. Straight means directly, without stopping anywhere else. He didn't sit down. He didn't check his phone. He went straight there.
At the information desk, the airline worker told them the news. Told, past simple of tell. What did she tell them? The next available flight to Italy was tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. They needed to stay at the airport overnight.
Now it's your turn to practice. Can you make a past simple sentence right now? Use one of these verbs. Go, tell, wait, check, find. Make a sentence about a time you traveled. Pause the video and say it out loud.
For example, I went to the airport at 6 in the morning. Or, she told me the flight was delayed. Or, we waited for 3 hours. Say your sentence now. Don't be shy. Comment prompt. Try it. Write a past simple sentence in the comments. Start with, I went, I waited, or she told me.
Now, the negative form. In the past simple negative, we use didn't plus the base form of the verb. The family didn't fly to Italy that night. They didn't sleep in a hotel. They didn't see the Italian sunshine on Wednesday morning. Not yet.
Great. So for negative past simple, subject plus didn't plus base verb. The flight didn't leave. The kids didn't complain. Well, actually, they did a little. The parents didn't panic. Well, not much.
And for questions in past simple, did plus subject plus base verb. Did the flight leave? No, it didn't. Did the airline help the family? Yes, they did. Did the kids find any good snacks in the airport at 10 o'clock at night? We'll find out.
So to summarize section 1, past simple uses ed for regular verbs and special forms for irregular verbs. For negatives, didn't plus base verb. For questions, did plus subject plus base verb. Simple, powerful, and essential for telling any story in English.
So the family had their news. They were staying at the airport overnight. And this is where things got interesting and where the past continuous tense becomes really important.
The past continuous. This is a beautiful tense. We use it to describe actions that were in progress at a specific moment in the past, things that were happening around you, the background of the story.
The formula is simple. Was or were plus the ing form of the verb. I was sleeping. She was waiting. They were walking. It was raining. These all describe something that was already in progress.
And the most common use? We combine the past continuous with the past simple to show one thing was happening when something else occurred.
The past continuous is the background. The past simple is the interruption or the main event.
Let me show you exactly what I mean with our story. At 10 o'clock at night, the airport was changing. Shops were closing. The lights were dimming. Cleaners were pushing their carts through the hallways. And our family was sitting in a row of seats near their old gate, working out what to do next. Beautiful. Shops were closing. Lights were dimming. Cleaners were pushing. All past continuous. They paint the picture of what was happening around the family. And then, while all of this was happening, the youngest child, 8-year-old Maya, found something.
What did she find?
She found a charging station, one of those machines where you can charge your phone, and next to it, a small vending machine. And the vending machine had pizza-flavored crisps.
Huh, an 8-year-old's dream in a canceled flight nightmare.
So here's the combination. While the parents were talking quietly, Maya was exploring. She was walking around slowly, and then she found the vending machine. Past continuous for the ongoing actions, past simple for the discovery.
Let's practice this structure together. I'll give you the beginning of a sentence. You finish it. Ready? While I was waiting at the airport, what happened? Pause and complete the sentence out loud.
You can say something like, while I was waiting at the airport, I met an old friend. Or, while I was sitting in the terminal, I saw a famous person. Be creative. It doesn't have to be true. Comment prompt. Complete this sentence. While I was waiting, Write your answer in the comments. We'll reply to as many as we can.
Now, a quick comparison. Formal versus informal. In formal writing, like an email to an airline, you might say, while we were waiting at the departure gate, the flight was canceled without warning. In everyday speech, you'd say, we were just sitting there and suddenly canceled, just like that.
Both are correct. Both use the past continuous and past simple. But the second one sounds like a real person telling a real story. That's the voice we want for your English conversations.
To summarize section 2, past continuous equals was or were plus verb ing. Use it for background actions that were in progress. Combine it with past simple using while or when to create vivid storytelling.
So, it was 11 o'clock at night. The airport was almost empty. Most of the shops were dark. The big departure board showed very few flights. And our family had set up a little camp in the terminal.
A camp? What does that look like?
Dad had pushed 3 seats together to make a kind of bed for Maya. Mom had found some extra jumpers in the carry-on bag. The older son, 12-year-old Leo, had connected to the airport Wi-Fi and was watching something on his phone. And Dad was walking back and forth, looking for a coffee machine that was still working.
This is so real. This is every airport overnight experience right here.
Let's look at some important airport vocabulary in this section. We have carry-on bag. This is the small bag that you keep with you on the plane. It goes in the overhead compartment above your seat. You don't check it in with your big suitcase. Very useful word, carry-on.
Then we have terminal. The terminal is the building at the airport where passengers wait for their flights. Most large airports have several terminals. Our family was stuck in Terminal 2.
We also have departure board, the big screen or board that shows all the flights, their destination, their gate number, their status. On time, delayed, boarding, canceled. The departure board tells you everything.
And boarding. That's the process of getting on the plane. When the departure board says boarding, it means go to your gate now. It's time to get on.
Now, in the morning, something wonderful happened. At 5:30 a.m., the airport started waking up again. Lights came on. A coffee shop opened. The smell of fresh coffee filled the terminal. And at 6 a.m., the departure board showed their flight. 7 a.m. to Rome. Status, on time.
Yes! They made it!
Maya woke up from her 3-seat bed. Leo put his phone away. Mom straightened her hair and somehow looked completely fine. Dad finally found his coffee. And at 7 a.m. exactly, the family boarded their flight to Rome.
And here's a great word, boarded. To board a plane or a train means to get on it. They boarded the plane at 7 a.m. Boarded is the past simple of board, a regular verb.
When they landed in Rome 2 hours later, Maya turned to her mom and said, "That was the best part of the holiday."
Ha, of course she did. Kids are incredible.
Now it's speaking practice time. Can you retell part of this story out loud? Just use 3 sentences. Where was the family? What were they doing? What happened? Pause the video and speak.
Comment prompt, retell part of the story in your own words. Just 2 or 3 sentences. Write them in the comments. We will read them. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. Just try. Say something like, the family was waiting at the airport. Their flight was canceled. They stayed overnight. That's already great English.
Okay, it's time for common mistakes. And I'll be honest, I made all of these mistakes when I was learning English. So you're in good company.
Mistake number 1, using past simple when you need past continuous. This is very common. A learner might say, when the flight was canceled, we sat at the gate. But wait, we sat sounds like sitting happened after the cancellation. What we really want to say is, when the flight was canceled, we were sitting at the gate. The sitting was already in progress, so we were sitting, past continuous.
The test is simple. Was this action already happening, or did it happen as a direct response? Already happening equals past continuous. Direct response equals past simple.
Mistake number 2, the flight was delay. This is a very common error. Delay here needs to be an adjective, and the correct adjective is delayed. The flight was delayed, not was delay. The ed ending makes it an adjective. The flight was delayed. The train was delayed. My morning was delayed.
Mistake number 3. We missed our plane versus we lost our plane. In English, you miss a flight. You don't lose it. We missed our flight because it was canceled and rescheduled, not we lost our flight. You lose objects, like keys or a passport. You miss events, like flights, trains, appointments.
And mistake number 4, verb tense after while. Some learners say, while I waited, she called me. But the correct form is, while I was waiting, she called me. After while, we need the past continuous, because while tells us the action was ongoing, while something was happening, not while something happened.
So, while I was waiting, while she was sleeping, while they were eating. Always while plus past continuous. Then the main event in past simple.
Which of these mistakes do you make most often? Be honest. Tell us in the comments. There is absolutely no embarrassment here. Every mistake you name is a mistake you're already starting to fix.
And please remember, mistakes are not failure. Mistakes are evidence that you are trying. Every English speaker you admire made exactly these mistakes once. The difference is they kept going. And so will you.
Absolutely. We're so proud of every one of you who is here, listening, and practicing. That is everything.
All right, time for our favorite part. Choose the correct sentence. I'll give you 2 options. You say the right one out loud. Ready?
Situation 1. Your flight was late. Do you say, A, the flight was delay, or B, the flight was delayed?
The answer is B. The flight was delayed. Remember, delayed is an adjective with ed. The flight was delayed.
Situation 2. You want to say what was happening when your flight was canceled. Do you say, A, I read a book when the flight was canceled, or B, I was reading a book when the flight was canceled?
The answer is B. I was reading a book. The reading was already in progress, past continuous. When the flight was canceled is the main past simple event that interrupted it.
Situation 3. You didn't get on the plane. Do you say, A, we missed the flight, or B, we lost the flight? A, we missed the flight. Always, you miss a flight. You lose your keys.
Situation 4. You want to use while. Do you say, A, while I waited at the gate, I met someone interesting? Or B, while I was waiting at the gate, I met someone interesting? B, while I was waiting. After while, we always use past continuous. While plus was, were, verb, ing. Now, here is your final challenge. Create your own sentence combining past continuous and past simple. Something that was happening and then something that interrupted it. Write it in the comments. We are going to read every single one. Comment prompt. Create your own sentence. Something was happening and then something happened. Example, while I was sleeping, my alarm went off. Write yours in the comments. And don't forget, real conversation doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to happen. The more you try, the more natural it becomes. Every sentence you write is a step forward. Say it out loud right now, even if no one can hear you. That's how it gets into your brain.
Wow, what an episode! We were stuck at an airport overnight. We met a family who was brave, tired, funny, and eventually on a plane to Rome. And along the way, we learned so much real English.
Let me list what we covered today. Number 1, the past simple tense for completed actions in the past. Regular verbs add ed. Irregular verbs have special forms. Went, saw, told, found, stood. Negative form, didn't plus base verb. Number 2, the past continuous. Was, were plus verb ing. For actions that were in progress at a moment in the past. Number 3, combining both tenses. Past continuous for the background, past simple for the event that interrupted or followed it. While I was waiting, the screen changed.
You have done something really great today. You listened to a story in English for 20 minutes. You practiced grammar. You probably spoke out loud at least once. That is real progress. Be proud of yourself.
Here's a question to think about. If you were stuck at an airport overnight, what would you do? Would you try to sleep? Find food? Talk to strangers? Write your answer in the comments. In English, of course. Comment prompt. If you were stuck at the airport overnight, what would you do? Tell us in the comments. In English.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like. It really helps Simple English Talks reach more learners just like you. Share it with a friend who is learning English. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We post a brand new episode every single week.
You are doing an amazing job. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Keep practicing. And remember, every expert was once a beginner. You've got this, and we are here with you every step of the way. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Simple English Talks. We'll see you next time.